3 weeks before the engagement party, my phone rang while I was checking catering options. My mother's voice came through sweet and sharp at once, the kind that meant trouble. "Darling," she began, "you need to cancel that little event of yours." I almost dropped my pen. "Cancel? Why would I do that?" "Because your sister Mara just got promoted," she said as if it explained everything. "We're having a celebration dinner for her that weekend." I blinked in disbelief. "We've been planning this for months, Mom. People already RSVP'd. Her tone hardened instantly. "Mara's promotion is a real milestone. Yours can wait." Then she hung up. No goodbye, no pause, just finality. That's how it always was with her. Mara got grand gestures, and I got silence. A few days later, I noticed relatives' messages turning vague. Cousins who were once excited suddenly had other plans. An aunt mentioned a family dinner conflict and went quiet. Whispers started spreading faster than I could respond. When I called my cousin Nina, she hesitated before speaking. "Your parents, they said the engagement might be off." The air left my lungs. "What do you mean off?" "They told everyone you and Ryan broke up weeks ago." I sat frozen, staring at the wall. My own parents were sabotaging my life. For years, I'd ignored the favoritism, the subtle dismissals. When Mara graduated, they flew the entire family to Mexico. When I did, they sent flowers and a card that arrived late. I told myself it didn't matter. But this was different. This was war disguised as family care. I called Ryan, my voice shaking. "They're telling people lies about us." He was quiet for a moment. "Then we tell the truth louder," he said. I wanted to believe him, but fear crawled through me. How do you fight your own blood without losing yourself? That night, I sat in the dark staring at my phone. Dozens of unread texts blinked like accusations. I typed and deleted a dozen responses. Nothing I said would change what they already decided to believe. When Nina called again, her voice was steady this time. "I talked to Grandma Aliner. She wants to help." A small ember of hope flickered inside me. Grandma had always been different. Where my mother criticized, Grandma listened. Where Mara demanded, Grandma supported. "Tell her I'm ready," I whispered. The next morning, Grandma called me herself. "Don't you worry, dear. We'll fix this." Her confidence felt like oxygen after days of suffocation. For the first time, I realized I didn't have to stay quiet. If my parents wanted to erase my story, I would write a new one. And this time, they wouldn't control the ending. The next morning, Nina arrived at my apartment with a look of determination. She had spoken to Grandma Aliner, who was already organizing a plan. "Grandma says we fight lies with facts," Nina said, opening her laptop. Her confidence steadied me more than she realized. Lucia, my friend and event planner, joined us a few hours later. She dropped her tablet on the table inside. "Half the guests have canceled," she said quietly. My chest tightened. All the months of preparation, fatting because of whispers. Lucia leaned forward, her tone firm. "Then we send a message that no one can twist." Together, we drafted an email addressed to every family member. It was calm, direct, professional. No drama, just truth. We explained that the engagement party was happening as planned. That Ryan and I were very much together. That rumors were false and hurtful. When I clicked send, my hands trembled. But under the fear was something new. Resolve. Grandma called that evening. "I read your letter, dear," she said, voice proud and steady. "That's the Sarah I know. No, the Sarah I know," she corrected herself, laughing. Even through my exhaustion, I smiled. Ryan came home late from work, his expression weary. "My parents heard the rumors too," he said, removing his tie. "They called to ask if I was okay." Shame burned through me. "I'm sorry you're dragged into this." He took my hands. "Stop apologizing for their choices." His voice was gentle but firm. That night, we ate dinner in silence, the weight between us heavy. Every ring of my phone made my stomach twist. By morning, I had messages from relatives I hadn't spoken to in years. Some apologized. Others doubled down, claiming family concerns. The damage was spreading faster than I could mend it. Lucia suggested a bold move, turning the chaos into clarity. "We host a live Q&A online," she said half-jokingly. I almost laughed, but then the idea clicked. If rumors spread digitally, so would the truth. We created a small family group chat with confirmed guests. We posted updates, photos, even a short video of Ryan and me together. It wasn't dramatic, just honest. Slowly, a few people started responding with support. "Didn't believe the gossip anyway," one cousin wrote. Another sent heart emojis. It wasn't victory, but it was progress. That afternoon, Grandma called again. "I'm calling 5 relatives tonight," she announced. "By the time I'm done, half the family will know the truth." Her determination filled me with quiet gratitude. For years, I'd been the silent daughter, the one who endured. But now, I wasn't alone anymore. I had allies who believed in me. As I closed my laptop that night, Ryan wrapped his arms around me. "They can't erase us," he whispered. And for the first time in weeks, I believed him. Days passed, and the rumors only grew louder. Aunt Clara called to check in, her tone dripping with pity. "I heard Ryan might be struggling financially," she said. I could almost hear my mother feeding her the words. I hung up before I said something I'd regret. Mara, of course, stayed silent in messages but loud online. Her new post read, "Family first, always here for my sister in hard times." The comments flooded in with sympathy for her, not me. It was a masterpiece of manipulation. Lucia slammed her phone down when she saw it. "She's baiting you. Don't give her what she wants." But my hands were already trembling over my keyboard. I wanted to scream the truth into the void. Instead, I took a deep breath and shut my laptop. Ryan found me sitting on the kitchen floor, holding my head. "They won't stop," I whispered. "I know," he said softly, kneeling beside me. "But neither will we." His words echoed through the room like a promise. The next morning, my inbox exploded with cancellations. People were suddenly unavailable or sending blessings from afar. Lucia rubbed her temples in frustration. "This is calculated," she said. "Someone's calling them directly." Grandma Alina organized a meeting at her house that evening. Nina, Lucia, and Ryan sat with her like a small war council. The old woman looked more commanding than I'd ever seen. "They're spreading lies faster than we can chase them," she said. "So we stop chasing, we lead." She divided us into groups. Lucia would handle communication and posts. Nina would document every message, every date. Ryan and I would prepare evidence for his family. It felt like preparing for battle, not a party. When Grandma leaned back, she gave a small, proud smile. "They think they're fighting a child," she said. "But they've forgotten you're a woman now." That night, Mara posted again, this time a photo of her promotion dinner. The caption read, "So proud to celebrate achievements that last." The date and time matched my engagement party. She was hosting it the same night. My chest ached like someone had twisted a knife. "They're doing this on purpose," I said. Ryan's phone buzzed then. His boss wanted to discuss concerns about personal distractions. An anonymous email had accused him of neglecting his work. The walls seemed to close in. "This isn't just about family anymore," I whispered. "They're trying to destroy us." Ryan reached for my hand. Then we rebuild stronger. When Lucia arrived the next morning, she carried 3 design boards. "If they want to make your event small, we'll make it unforgettable." Behind her came friends from the industry, florists, decorators, caterers. Each offered something, all refusing payment. I stared at them, overwhelmed. They were proof that kindness could still win ground against cruelty. For the first time in weeks, I felt something like hope, and I swore I wouldn't let my family take it away again. The day of the engagement party arrived with cold rain sweeping through the streets. I stood outside the hall, clutching Ryan's hand, afraid to open the doors. "Ready?" he asked softly. I nodded, though my pulse betrayed me. When we stepped inside, the music was gentle, the lights golden. Lucia had worked magic. She transformed what could have been emptiness into something intimate. Fairy lights wove through greenery, and candles flickered across tables. Guests arrived one by one, hesitant but smiling. Every handshake felt like reclaiming a piece of myself. Aunt Beatrice hugged me, whispering, "I'm glad I trusted my heart, not the gossip." For the first time, I believed this night might survive. Then the main doors opened again, and silence swept the room. Myra walked in. Her cream blouse gleamed under the lights, her smile sharp and hollow. "I just wanted to congratulate you both," she announced too loudly. She kissed the air beside my cheek, eyes scanning the room's turnout. I felt my jaw tighten. Before I could respond, a familiar voice rose behind me. "Ah, Mara dear," Grandma Leaner said, cane tapping on the floor. Her tone was honeyed steel. "Where are your parents this evening? Everyone been asking." Mara's smile faltered. "They had a client dinner," she stammered. Uncle Robert frowned nearby. "That's odd. Your father told me they were attending your promotion party tonight." Mara blinked rapidly, searching for words. "Well, it's kind of both. Sequential events." Aunt Donna tilted her head. "But your mother told me Ryan left Sarah weeks ago. She was very specific." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Dozens of curious eyes turned toward Mara. Her face flushed crimson. "I should go," she muttered, stepping back toward the door. "Early meeting tomorrow. Congratulations again." She left as quickly as she'd come. The tension shattered into quiet laughter. Grandma leaned close to me and whispered, "Truth doesn't need volume, only timing." Ryan squeezed my hand under the table. Lucia's smile met mine from across the room, relief in her eyes. The band began to play softly, easing the awkward air into warmth. Guests returned to chatting, glasses clinking, laughter returning. Ryan raised his flute and tapped it gently. "To those who chose to be here," he said, "you are our real family, by choice, not obligation." Applause followed, and something inside me unclenched. For once, the emptiness didn't feel like failure. It felt like clarity. As I looked around the room, I saw the faces that mattered. Not all who were invited came, but the right ones did. Grandma began dancing, pulling people to the floor, her laughter contagious. Soon the room was alive again, full of joy, music, and forgiveness. I stood beside Ryan, breathing in the moment. The lies had burned away, and what remained was truth. Not perfect, not complete, but ours. The morning after the party, my phone buzzed with a new voicemail. My mother's voice was cold and sharp, stripped of any pretense. "7 people came to Mara's dinner," she said. "You embarrassed this family. You'll pay for it." My hands shook as I replayed the message twice. Ryan listened beside me, his jaw tightening with every word. "They're getting desperate," he said quietly. I wanted to believe it would end there. But it didn't. By noon, anonymous posts appeared online. Someone claimed I'd cheated on Ryan last summer. Another hinted I'd been fired from my last job. They tagged people we knew. The cruelty was so specific, it could only come from home. Then Ryan's father called. He had received an email accusing me of being unstable. Someone had even contacted Ryan's workplace with lies. "This is no longer family drama," I whispered. "They're attacking our lives." Ryan pulled me close. Then we faced them head on. 2 days later, his phone rang again, my father's name on the screen. Ryan put it on speaker. "Good morning, son," my father began with false warmth. I think it's time we talk man to man, without Sarah. Ryan's eyes met mine. What about? There are things about my daughter you should know before you marry her. My stomach twisted. Even now, he was still trying to poison what we had. Ryan's voice stayed calm. I'd be happy to discuss that with transparency. May I record this call? A pause followed. That won't be necessary, my father said sharply. I prefer honesty, Ryan replied. My father sighed. Mara's promotion has been difficult for Sarah. She's always envied her sister. He continued smoothly, like reading from a script. If you're thinking of postponing the wedding, we could help financially. Ryan frowned. You want to pay us to cancel? There's no need for hostility, my father said. Your marriage would only deepen Sarah's resentment. The silence that followed was heavy and electric. Then Ryan said firmly, I know exactly who Sarah is. That's why I'm marrying her. The call ended with a click that sounded like finality. I buried my face in his shoulder, shaking. They'll never stop, will they? No, he said softly, but neither will we. 2 mornings later, I stood at my parents' doorstep. Grandma waited in her car down the street, watching over me. My mother opened the door, surprised but composed. Sarah, this is unexpected. May I come in? I asked. She hesitated, then stepped aside. My father crossed his arms. Myra sat on the couch, scrolling her phone, eyes cold. I just want to talk, I began. There's nothing to discuss, my mother said flatly. You've humiliated us. No, I said, voice steady. You've humiliated yourselves. Mara shot up, shouting that I'd always been jealous, always the failure. My mother didn't stop her. My father called me ungrateful, a disgrace. I reached into my pocket and turned off the recorder. I'm not asking for approval, I said. I'm giving you one last chance to be my parents. My father pointed to the door. Get out. I walked away without a word, my heart breaking, but my spine straight. 3 weeks passed before my phone rang again. The number was unfamiliar, the voice calm and professional. Hello, this is Janine Porter from Horizon Analytics, the woman said. She explained she worked at Mara's company. My pulse quickened instantly. We've discovered your sister used her work email to send private information about you, she continued. She included personal comments and even forwarded client data. I sank into my chair, stunned. Is she in trouble? I managed to ask. Yes, Janine said. She denied it at first, but the evidence was clear. She's been demoted. Her tone softened. We're very sorry for any distress this caused you. When the call ended, I sat in silence, staring at the wall. Justice had arrived quietly, without my hand guiding it. That night, I told Ryan everything over dinner. He chopped vegetables with slow, careful motions. Are you going to sue her? He asked. I shook my head. No, what happens now is hers to carry. He nodded, understanding without another word. We sent out the wedding invitations a week later. 94 envelopes, each sealed with gold foil. 3 addresses deliberately missing. The piece that followed felt unfamiliar but sacred. Lucia came by to help finalize decorations. Nina handled the seating chart. Grandma Alina called daily, asking about flowers, colors, and vows. Her voice made every detail feel alive again. One afternoon, a small package arrived by courier. Inside was a lace handkerchief, hand-stitched and delicately aged. A note in Grandma's handwriting read, "Something old from your real family." Tears blurred my vision as I pressed the cloth to my cheek. It smelled faintly of lavender and memory. The wedding day came bathed in golden light. I stood beneath a white gazebo, surrounded by roses and honeysuckle. Ryan waited at the altar, his eyes steady, filled with warmth. Grandma and Ryan's mother walked beside me, one on each arm. For once, my steps felt light, my shoulders free. Every petal, Every song, every face around me belonged here. When the minister asked who presented the bride, they answered together. We do, with love and blessing. Their voices carried across the small crowd of true believers. During my vows, I looked directly at Ryan. Family isn't who shares your blood, I said softly. It's who stands beside you when it matters. He smiled through tears. And I will stand beside you, every day, every moment. As we danced later under strings of lights, Grandma raised her glass. To the woman who knows her worth, she said proudly. Applause rippled through the tent, laughter rising with the music. Aunt Clara whispered that Mara had called, asking if I might forgive her someday. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. But tonight wasn't about the past. It was about choosing peace without permission. As Ryan spun me under the warm lights, I felt whole. No ghosts, no noise, just love that finally stayed. The last song of the night drifted through the garden like a sigh. Guests clapped softly, glasses chimed, and laughter glowed under the lights. Ryan pulled me close, his breath warm against my ear. Look around, he whispered. Every person here chose us. I followed his gaze across faces filled with joy, not obligation. Lucia arranging flowers one last time. Nina dancing with Grandma Aliner, both laughing without restraint. Every soul present was proof that love could rebuild what blood destroyed. I rested my head on Ryan's shoulder, the world finally quiet. For years, I had begged for space in my family's story. Now I realized I had written my own. No apologies owed. No permission required. The pain had forged something stronger than forgiveness. It had given me freedom. As the night faded into silver dawn, Ryan kissed my forehead. We made it, he murmured. Yes, I said, smiling through tears, and we did it our way. The stars above seemed to whisper the same truth I'd finally learned. Family isn't given. It's chosen. And tonight I chose peace.